Hello, welcome to Soul Gazing Shamanic Healer. I just want to tell the world another way that God gave me a download today at 6:23, February 13th. I'm sorry, 12th. He said another way to make the world better is giving police, right, authority figures, a class or counseling, continuous counseling on how to exercise and hold and embody and exhibit power. You know, you give somebody power and give them a few instructions or a book of instructions. It's never enough instructions, especially when you can't even contain sin. You can't even count how many ways it is to do one thing. So with that being said, I think a continuous teaching of how to handle power or being in a position of power is always needed, because people forget, and it's natural, it's not bad all the time, but they forget how to conduct themselves, how to exhibit a code of conduct. You know, I had a police officer pull me over today, Officer Shaw, state trooper. You know, I know everything ain't right with me, but this man came and he made sure he assessed the situation so much that I was so scared. I just knew this man was finna kill me or had intentions on it. And even if he did or he do, you know what I'm saying? If I was deceived and me settling in that everybody or all police aren't bad, then shame on me or him, whichever one goes with it. But y'all know what I mean. And he, you know, I asked him why he wasn't finna F my life up, and he said, because I have no reason to. And that really did change my train of thought, because all I could think about is this man finna let me go and kill me. Because the state that I'm in, when they had to do with slaves, this wasn't a good state. Now the people here are really nice, really kind and loving. I have more done good to me here than bad. Would I ever live here? Absolutely not, because they still got a long ways to go. But the ratio of good people here do outnumber the bad, from my experience. Texas, when I lived in Texas, it just was the Hispanics did not want to accept a black person. I had came to grips with it. My synopsis was because they didn't feel like, even though they know that we are minorities as a black culture, we did not, the chance that we're given, because we're not looked at so bad on the scale, in my perspective and what's been my experience as a Hispanic. And I think that comes with a lack of communication and language barriers. So it's no fault of our own, but just the way the natural situation ended up, because of the negative energy that we wanted to embrace. Moving forward, you know, I think police go through a lot. And because they go through a lot, they're the most abused people in the world. They need continuous counseling. Some people operate out of ego when they get put in those positions of power, simply because they have to be a certain way. And it's a need. And I use the word very meticulously, have. You know, because it's nothing else other than being macho or standing in your power or being the power in the situation. They need to have ways to decompress, to literally come up out of that and be who they are again, if that is feasible. Would it be true to say that that is really causing trauma to the human body, to even require somebody to have to be themselves and put on another face and be themselves in so many different faces, being the police? I had one the other day. I was at McDonald's with my daughter. One of the employees asked me, how was Texas? And I proceeded to tell her it was my experience that the Hispanics did not like African Americans. I tried to speak Spanish with them. I was working at Tesla, trying to speak Spanish with them, trying to eat lunch with them. And there's always some type of he say, she say, dislike, or they done came up with a reason they don't like me, and I don't know about it, and I'm just cut off. And in the midst of me being cut off, I'm being bullied, ostracized. My job is in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? because they may be humble enough to kiss the boss behind, and the boss like that, and they done created such an energy in me because my natural temperament, first of all, being a Sagittarius, and then the struggle being an African American, then and then me being outnumbered plays a role, and they use it to their advantage. And they all know who I'm talking about, because I know every last one of them that ever tried me, which the hell they hadn't, in Texas. Down to the police officer, when I went to the police station to pay for a ticket, how he gonna chest hit me, make his chest touch mine and kind of push me back. But when he seen I wasn't scared and I did his ass the same way, bitch, this equal a lesser force. This what I'm saying. And I know somebody got to be the most, a part of the solution and not the problem. But it was just, I did the best that I could in the moments that I was given. One thing, I done been beat, raped, and everything else. And I'm sure a lot of us have. Manipulated, lied. If you've been lied to in a relationship, situationship, familyhood, partnership, whatever. We all done been psychologically traumatized from deceit and left with a lot of debris to work on, which causes skeletons either in our closet. That's how you want to look at it. Michael Jackson it. Looking at the man in the mirror. And so on. But my thing is, going back to what I was saying, moving forward, I really believe that police need a lot of psychological help on a consistent basis. And not just the police, because there's nothing wrong with getting help. Like they would say, it's okay. I'm saying, literally, what about everybody in the world having a support system? Everybody in the world having somebody or something tailored to give them. And that's how it's supposed to be. When one is strong and the other is weak, we're supposed to pick each other up. When one has knowledge, the other one, you're supposed to pass that knowledge on. That's what you get knowledge and wisdom for. To pass it on. Not be stingy with it. Not create malice with it. But create greatness. And when you're given that power, that position, understanding that you're somebody special because you didn't have to be ordained by another human being. But you were ordained by the universe, God, the Most High, Jah, Allah. Whoever you decide to look upon, Buddha, Lord Krishna, Ganesh, etc., that is of a higher power and a higher vibration of positivity. I don't always operate in it. I just cuss the police out over the phone, which I'm not bragging. I was wrong, but I'm just letting you know I got my own skeletons, things I need to work on. I too am guilty of these things. We all are. I was just giving an example. But when you know better, do better. When you fall down, let your brother and your sister be compassionate enough to say, hey. Because a lot of times, a lot of situations can be avoided or eluded if we're all just, not saying, oh, because they didn't operate in it, I didn't operate. If you can de-escalate it, de-escalate. Sometimes you can't, because them demons get real mean. And some people might not know how to be one, being present and in the moment, mind, body, and soul. They might just be listening to Dr. Sabi, and Dr. Sabi say, when you get control over the mind, you get control over the body. They may get stagnant in just having control over the mind and the body. And they haven't been awakened to taking care of the spirit and the soul as well. Becoming one. And then they go in church and say God is one body. Even, in religion, what I know about. If God is one body, then you must be one body as well. You being one body is having control and cleaning and catering to all three substances that make us up. 6 protons, is it protons? And 6 electrons and 6 neutrons to make our physical body up. Now, how many of us can say we know what makes our spirit up, our soul? None of us can, really. But that spirit is made of the essence of who you are, the temperament that you choose to embody in. Get comfortable with. Where you're most comfortable, that's your spirit. And your soul is nothing but the truth. Your higher self, knowing better, knowing what you should do, sending you signs from a different realm, a different energy source that's unseen with the eyes, that's connected to things that we believe in that we can't see. The substance of all things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. For some of us, it's God. Some of us, it's Buddha. Some of us is, like I said, Lord Krishna, etc. But whatever your higher power is, God has many names. He has many faces. He has many ways that he can show up and show out because he's the creator. Ways that we can't fathom. But once we accept that and not let our minds wander, you gain more control over your mind than one would even give you credit for. That's very threatening, especially when the majority rules is a factor in the situation. Because it's easy for a person to get comfortable doing the wrong thing and not be sin conscious. It's very hard for a person to adapt to what it requires to do the right thing. We don't all do it. When I don't do the right thing, I'm so sin conscious. I'm talking about I condemn myself sometimes. I hurt. My heart hurts because I feel like, Lord, how could I have said this or done this to another human when it's not corresponding with the way that I believe, the way that I normally live? But hey, we're humans as well. Sometimes this old nasty flesh take over the spirit that we wanna or we have pressed our cheek to, that gives us the soul essence of our DNA makeup that responds with our actions, our temperament, characteristics, etc., personality, and then what we do. It's just a little trinkle dinkle going on of what it takes every day in order to live. And we forget these things because we get so sidetracked by going to work, bill collectors calling us, putting stress on us, kids, family, love. And so we all could do better with time management. So at the end of the day, I just really wanted to share that with you guys. Please pass this video along if you don't mind. Tap that screen twice and get your girl out there so we can help this channel to grow. So we can let the world be more conscious of just the vibrational change that really needs to take place. And also I wanted to say this: if COVID wasn't enough, what is? If the wars that's happening and the way that we all feel so unsafe, that's why we got bolted doors and locks, what is? So let's just try to make a change, guys. Nobody should have to want to die or kill people like they did Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and ostracize what's his name, Farrakhan. And we could all change some ways, and I'm not promoting these people, but they are my ally in certain aspects as far as wanting peace and demanding it, going after it, trying to show the world that this is not happening and it's just time out for it type actions. So and I said that to say the government shouldn't be trying to come after me. Don't gang stop me. I'm sick of all that old baby cake ass shit. I just want people in the world to accept, and not in a demanding way. This is just my wish, my hope, my prayer, that we can accept the positive feedback that something in this great big universe of a high vibration has given certain individuals to come and tell you guys out their time out of their day, to be so gracious and loving to pass these fruits on and be receptive to all that it entails and embodies. Because it's not asking much, guys. Just down to driving. When you're getting on the interstate and you see a car going 70 miles, don't just boot that person out the way. Slow your vehicle down and get behind that person. Don't knock off the cosmic balance, because sometimes we be in a rush to go nowhere. Don't get mad because you in a rush. Everybody ain't in a rush. So some people go and follow the speed limit. Some people not going to break the law because God said follow the laws of the land, whether it's been tampered with or not. It's something that works. It's something that keeps order. Why do we elude doing things that keep order? But then in many other ways, we get drunk and go out and then we cause fights. We go into church and we dog people out because of their sins, and then be reading chapters out the Bible that says thou shalt not judge. Or maybe not so much reading that because they think that that's very juvenile and we should have already learned that. But if we should have already learned it, why is it still happening? Why is the pastor playing Robin, who Robin Hood be trying to save? The king from the kings. Why they trying to play king? While you driving the Benz and everybody in your congregation, they car looking like who did it and why, and everybody's struggling and got bags under their eye to make the car payments to keep up with the shepherd. Why is you passing that plate around more than one time? I know somebody here got $1,000 because you pocket watching. The pastor, the biggest pocket watcher. The dope boys going to church to elude that, and guess what? You running right into the hands of it. That's why I don't go. That's one of my reasons. This is what I've seen with my eyes. If I got allies out there, okay then, drop some in the comments. If this is not your narrative, then whatever your narrative may be, drop it in the comments. Help each other out. Give people ways to, get the tools to overcome a situation that's not advantageous, or what you felt like you was at a disadvantage. You didn't know how to respond. Because like I said, there's many ways to do things. And there's many ways to get responses and repercussions. Families out there, women that's beating your kids. That's a generational curse. You can contact me at londonapple779@yahoo.com. I'm sorry, at gmail.com. I'm able to help you with these things. That cuss your kids out. They don't got patience for your kids. It's ways to fix these things. Those are generational curses. And I mean, when I say curses, it's not just a temperament or something that's implanted in the DNA. It be pure magic. The Bible speak of black and white magic. Whether it's been tampered with or not, it's spoke about because these things exist. If you know magic and you're not doing what it takes to retain that position of power, you're doing something wrong. I understand you got to protect yourself sometimes, but at the end of the day, we all wrong because we still fighting negative with negative. There's no positive in it. Whether you feel like you getting justice, if all parties ain't reaping that positive shit, then guess what? It's wrong. I understand, somebody may have lost kids. Somebody's kid may have gotten raped. I've seen something on YouTube, a man killed the man that raped his daughter. Some people love their kids. Some people have their kids because they love them. Does it make it right? Not in the whole situation, no. But for a party or parties, yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's a discretion to that, but we all got to be held accountable for our sins. But just naturally being on the right vibration, yes, somebody may have gotten an abortion. Was it right for all parties? Absolutely not. Was it right for some parties? Absolutely. Some people may, get a chance to see, the day that they don't have to work and they can steal people's kids and lay up on food stamps, Medicaid, WIC, getting free milk and cheese, all the things that make them have to work, trying to cheat life, knocking off the cosmic balance of things. Because the Bible says if a man don't work, he don't eat. Even when you go to stealing and you see an opportunity where your kids are on drugs and you need to get your grandkids, who is it for you to not rebuild that family and be the heroic hero rather than the most hated and having to live without your child even loving or respecting you? How can you ask your child to respect you when you've stolen their children? You've imposed that Rachel and Sarah energy on your own child, your own grandchild, all because you dislike the way they look or they got a better shape. They got prettier eyes. People are drawn to them. They have charisma. They're charismatic. They're intelligent. They're a go-getter. They look like they're not cut from the same cloth. Who are you to beat that person down? Who are you? Not like how dare you, but that too. But who are you? Take a look at that woman or that grandmother or that mother or that cousin, that uncle, that person that's adopting somebody's child. If you can see a way to fix it, you need to fix it, and don't be selfish. That lawyer that's sitting in that courtroom being nasty and doing what implied that happens in the justice system all so many days and times and nights. Swapping one person out for another, not caring about another's life and their balance of things because you start to get so much money that greed has taken it. Because just being greedy don't mean just taking. Oh, that come with a lot of characteristics and attributes too that are that's a disadvantage of the cosmic balance. Being greedy means being sneaky, lying, being deceitful, malicious. All of those things can be changed and should be and need to be, because God is tired. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have sent his messenger, shamanic healer, soul gazing shamanic healer, to tell you these things. It's okay to back out and say, you know what, I was wrong. People in relationships can be sustained. Families can be put back together. Relationships can be mended. If somebody just says, I'll do what it takes, whatever it takes to keep this in my life, because I value not just me, I value the way that I show up in this world. And until we do these things, we could just keep expecting just what's happening in the world. Generation after generation after generation trying to get it right. Organizations, Masons and Eastern Stars, getting people in these partnerships with you guys that learn how to manipulate positions of power. I'm not afraid of you, whether you a big church or old church or whatever, white hats and green shoes. Stop it. You're human just as I. At the end of the day, we all got red blood, blue blood before the oxygen hit it. We all got 6 protons, 6 electrons, and whatever the other 6 thing is to make us up. What we all don't have is a common interest of peace, love, and happiness. That's why them people in the 60s was trying to promote that, because the energy wasn't so bad. Changes had been made. And those people that generation of people could feel that change. And they tried to persuade the world to follow that vibration because it just made sense. Just as much as it makes sense to go out there and punch somebody in the face, that gentleman that punched that lady in her face and told her to say one more thing that's all over YouTube, and her son came in there and shot the shit out of him. Just as he did, that he could have walked away, not justifying nothing. Because again, it's one of them situations. One party may have gotten justice, but somebody else lost out. Why does those situations even have to exist? Because we're operating out of ego. We're operating out of not knowing how to control ourselves. Letting a complete lunatic just roam the earth, bystanders watching as a peanut gallery. Like they were very barbaric in the old days when kings used to have different men fighting each other to blood till they die, betting on people's lives. How barbaric can you get? But I guess I couldn't expect nothing. I, as a human, lost. I, as a human, let me just not go there, because that's my own thoughts. Let me stick with what the Holy Spirit want me to let you guys know. All this out there hunting deers and rabbits and all of this right here, stop that. If it's true to say that when you eat a certain type of meat, that animal is scared, whether it's hybrid or not, it has a certain feeling. You beat a dog for so long, eventually that dog will bite back or run away. These things have feelings. When you kill these things, they die with a grief. They die with a grief. When you consume this stuff, you're then grief is then imprinted upon you. It becomes a part of your temperament, and you've now hypnotized yourself to respond in a way that an energy unseen has imprinted on you. And there it is. So that's why I said become sin conscious. Once you become sin conscious, you'll understand where these energies lay. And you'll understand how you manifest the energy. Jim Carrey, one line, he put that $500,000 check in there and got that Dumb and Dumber movie out there and got that check in his wallet. He understood what a manifestation is. Stop looking at it like it's witchery. It feels like magic. It does pan out magically. But a stairway can just appear. It's a fact. It shouldn't have to be a witch hunt. And the people that are witches and white witches and dark witches, anybody in this earth that's operating, it's just a name. Just like the N word, just like the C word. It's just a name with an energy put behind it. When will we stop being so juvenile and recognize these things and not just go with the normal interpretation of things and create our own narrative? The narrative that it's okay to live in a peaceful place. It's okay to let our children play together because they have different colors of skin. Or the class is different. Middle class, high class, lower class. I mean, all of that. You miss out on your blessings. That's why I always learn different languages. And when I speak Hindi, I get it more from Indians than I do from anybody. No pun intended. How do you know this language? Because I taught myself. I listened to it in a Delta state. I wanted to learn. I wanted to broaden my miracles. I wanted to broaden the blessings that I was able to give and receive. I didn't want to limit myself. I started operating out of my God-like and God-given intellect. And I went with it. I was not afraid to believe in faith, that faith would bring me to a place of people that was advantageous for me, that was okay. And we can still co-create with the cooperation so we can create. And what we create is what we create. Goodness, badness, like all of that becomes a bigger responsibility. Taking that into an account. But anyway, I don't want to be verbose right now. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Don't forget to tap that screen twice. Share this video so it can get in the algorithm. So we can help change the world. And let's make this a mission impossible.